Neuli ve ilaudem el hayin ef al aken ishele ile ilaud nauna se ile ifaun hakemu. This is the time of our death, though we dread it. It has always been coming. We have planned it. To be surprised now is the only joke. It is not done, and you know it. But it is death. Death that you need to better understand. From a fortress of light that extends beyond everything. There is no more sadness. For you to not want to wake is what is wrong. This is the summoning of now, of today. I want to talk a little bit about the election. Is it not a death too to admit that to witness this is no solution? To come to the understanding that our helplessness is not being solved by the election. And we can't hope to solve it by electing one of these few officials into office. It would be naive at this point in time to believe that one of these people can turn this around for a nation and a culture that has been inculcated with divisiveness. The very act of the election, electing an official to, in a very generic sense, run the country, or to establish his or her other officials, further officials, to extend out, to establish a chain of command, and therefore a change cannot be established. It's important for the American people to recognize that this is a fraud, what they're participating in, what the game they're playing is not genuine. And many of you know that now. That's why there's so much discomfort about even choosing. What I really want to say is choosing a victim or a villain, choosing that figurehead that symbolizes change, but has not necessarily actualized change. And so, what is this about? Why are we here again at this election, hoping to make a difference in our futures, over who's going to make the decisions, who's really looking out for us? We're disgruntled because it doesn't really seem like anybody is. It doesn't really seem like anybody is, at least in the political platform. Nili filu isi. Do not expect the politician to be the guru. Kevilu ma. What you have come to know is right and might and fight. Kuyese. Is the willingness to give up. To give up to a fundamental understanding that this is the way. That to assume power is the way to truth and solution and hope. Hope. Why this hope? That's a fraud. To have hope out there to manifest for us in here. There's no connection. It's a complete mental turmoil. It's a game, a mental enthusiasm. It's a mental ride. Kifilu, yes, it's not grounded in any reality. There's no establishment. There's no establishment. Kivibitalo I fayanu yako ni what is the party established in? Duviboli visi I say creeds, thoughts, ideologies. Kuyasafu ni kuyani ni say rhythms of misunderstanding each other. So and then so drawing up blame and doubt. Kuyifiponya I uchamu devising plans to combat these kyofu, to overcome the other in order to serve the self. There's only one being. Just all division is purposeless. It's just perpetuating the myth. If you saw look at the 100 monkey, that's much closer to the truth. That's evolution. But going back and forth like a yo-yo to this side and to that side, yes and no, this way, that way, you say it's purposeless. We're achieving nothing. For sure, no, it's not going to matter. It's not going to matter who you elect, because what you're really looking for is somebody who's going to stand up to the establishment. Somebody who's not afraid of death, or if they're afraid of death, they're willing to embrace the possibility of death in order to accomplish this achievement, which is to connect and unify the truth. You can't have order without the truth. It's just everything is built on a mistake, a misunderstanding, a fraud. We can't get to the truth through that misunderstanding. Einstein said something to the effect of, the minds that created the problem cannot be the same minds. You cannot use the same mind or the mindset or state of mind to establish the solution as the problem was created with. It takes an incredible man, an incredible person, an incredible woman to stand up to the patterns and the ways things have been. In your own life, you may understand or know people who haven't changed as many times as they've tried, whether they've gone on diets or tried to overcome alcohol or cigarette smoking or any number of habits and patterns, choosing the wrong person for themselves. And you can see how common it is to not change, to devise heavy-duty plans to change, great disguises to not change. And then once in a while, there's an individual whose loyalty to the truth is far superior and stronger and more driving and just more true than any of the other obstacles that might get in the way. Not to say that they're a perfect individual, not to say they haven't struggled or that they don't struggle, but somehow they're still deeply in touch. I'm thinking of Martin Luther King Jr. right now. He's a man with fortitude. And his divine touch to God was far greater than any of his fears or weaknesses on earth. Therefore, he was able to elevate the cause into mightiness. He was able to elevate the cause because he had God backing him. He had the power of change backing him. And he had the willingness to be that change, to enable that change, even with his life. I want to say this is true also of Gandhi and, of course, Jesus.